qualified for the World Cup. Go and compete. We'll prepare and we'll go and we'll do our best. We'll put them under pressure. The game is about being effective, being aggressive, winning the ball, getting on with the play. We'll put them under pressure.
Hang on. Look. I'm sorry, Philip. Look, I'm sorry. I know you want a coup, but can you show me your tank first before he let you take over the country?
Damn it, you have control of what side you're on. Don't blame me.
No, it's you wanting the coup. You just want to show me the size of your tank.
What?
That's
tank?
your problem. You got a big tank in your back garden there.
Yeah, right. I haven't even got a back garden to be hard enough to have a tank in it.
Well, have you got a tank in your shed?
Nope.
That's
No
where
room.
you went off yesterday. I heard a rumor you were going to look and buying a tank with a big Tottenham Till I Die flag on top of
Well,
it.
if I am, the first place I'm going to blow up is your house, right? So.
Thanks. Can you make sure I'm out of it first?
No problem. No problem.
Just give us an advance warning that you're coming down the M50.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. And his bottle of vodka in one hand, the Tottenham flag in the other, and the tank stands a bit like Boris Yeltsin all them years ago. I look at that. It's the Russian Federation ringing up straight away. See how Philip's getting on. You couldn't. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He's ringing. Look at him. Look, he's ringing them. Look. What were they saying to you? Operation Wexford.
We're looking for your address.
Was it Operation Wexford? Here we go.
Oh, yeah, they were looking for your address.
Yeah, you didn't give it to them, did you?
No, told them. No.
Yeah, good. What
Just
did
give
you
them the
say?
postcode. Just give them the air code instead.
That's right, because if they take the air code, they'll end up somewhere different in the estates, which is true. Which is true. Anyway, good afternoon. How are you, Mr. Brady?
Yeah, I'm still buzzing after yesterday, like a lot of us are, I think.
Yeah,
I have
absolutely.
to say,
I was looking.
concerned about that match, but turned out to be no need to be.
Well, I wasn't, and you weren't. I did tell you there's no need to be worried. We're going to go
Yeah,
up
it's only
there.
in the last hour or two that I got, because I just felt that Villa were, actually, I was very disappointed with Villa. I think we completely, what's his name? Emery got the tactics completely wrong yesterday.
Well,
Absolutely, we were completely right.
I'm surprised he started with the back five to begin with,
Yeah,
which they never played with the back five.
Well, apparently they did the last time when they beat us at our place. Luckily, beat us in November. I think he was trying to replicate that system that he played in the second half, but it backfired on them big time because they never ever got going. Never got going.
It was our pressing from minute 1 to minute 100. Our pressing.
The press, and the fact that we kept their fullbacks in their own half most of the time.
Yeah,
they weren't able to get forward at all. So
it was our pressing. But let's see who's in the chat anyway. And what a weekend of Premier League football in the whole. Anyway, it's been a good weekend, Philip. Results up and down the country.
Yeah,
the game yesterday.
Arsenal winning. Yeah.
Did you really have to bring down the tolerance?
You did say it was a good weekend, but I said can't be a good weekend when Arsenal win. Not completely good anyway.
They're not in the Premier League in my mind. They're somewhere in the first division.
Yeah, I wish they were.
Anyway, Flat Cat Pete says, "Hi guys, good afternoon. Good result for Spurs, and of course Derry City. Shame about the rugby. Don't talk about the rugby. Do not talk about the rugby. Me and Philip have banned rugby from this show. We're not covering any more rugby now. That's it.
Well, we're going to cover it next week. Oh God, yeah, have to.
Are we? Who's playing next week?
Scotland and Ireland, Scotland.
Yeah, but we didn't beat England. It's no point.
What? They got lucky.
Yeah.
So no, all right. We'll still win the championship anyway. Might win the Triple Crown.
I wanted the Triple Crown.
Yeah, well, second best is the championship, so we'll just get that instead. Triple Crown's only a mythical thing. It doesn't exist. There's no crown. It's just a title, really.
Anyway, big up to Carl Simpson. It's good afternoon, gents. Still buzzing. So are we. Hello, all in the chat. We've got Wembley 1 afternoon, everyone from the sunny Malta. After a wasted trip to a fishing village market, yesterday's win was just the tonic.
Oh, boy. No fish, wasn't it? No fish.
Maybe they needed to bring down the big fella from upstairs to make the fish multiply. Maybe they should have put a phone call to him. Just come down here and multiply a few fishes for us. Peter says, Wembley 1, big up, mate. Whereabouts in Malta are you? We've got Stephen Cartwright. Big up, Stephen says, g'day. G'day, chaps. Hope everyone is doing okay. I'm doing fine. Philip's just bought himself a new tank, so everyone's hunky-dory.
Oh, jeez. You shut up about that tank, will you? God's sake.
Well, it's better than Tom Jones. Peter M says, big up Philip and Dermot and everyone in the chat. We've got Peter, I'm in St. Julian's.
Ah, right. Okay. Nice.
You know it, Philip? You know where it is?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Evidence is on the video. Philip's threat and motive.
Oh, dear.
Actually, I had a neighbor in my area who had a real tank.
They took to the High Court.
A real tank that he took to the High Court when he was fighting Croydon Council over an order to take down a model Blue Merlin from Israel.
Jesus. Must be a bit of an eccentric.
Can you imagine turning up the court in a real tank?
Yeah.
And then Carl Simpson, that couldn't get tanks up Eurodermo way, too tight in Wexford.
Yeah, roads are too tight down there, yeah.
You leave Wexford alone. You know, we're a better county than you. We're a better county than you anyway. Wembley 1 says, I know where it is, but never visited it. But I'm sure it's nice. Enjoy yourself. We got Carl Simpson says, we don't talk about rugby. No. We do. We don't talk about rugby. We've got Leslie Crawford. Happy Monday to all. Happy Monday to you. Leslie, Philip. Now, we're going to go through a bit of football news first before we get into the nut and bolts of the Premier League weekend and the Tottenham win yesterday. Philip, let's start with tonight's game, Chelsea versus Newcastle. Newcastle have only won twice at Stamford Bridge this century, which is a true fact. You got Pochettino calling out the play, saying we'll have to want Mourinho back. Go and see the director and the sporting director. He's now coming out and saying that he doesn't. He's ignoring the criticism, and he will never quit or leave Chelsea. So, firstly, where are you with the game tonight, Philip? Is this a game that's, if Newcastle win, they go up to 7th place? Chelsea are in 11th. What are you hoping for tonight? It's a game we're covering, by the way, on this channel. So we are covering the game at 8 o'clock. Where are you going with this one? I'm hoping for a Newcastle win, to be fair.
I never thought at this stage of the season you'd be looking at Chelsea versus Newcastle as a game between two mid-table mediocrities, which is basically all both those teams are this season. I mean, Newcastle are probably the biggest disappointment. We all thought they would be, with their money, be everything behind them, they'd be up in there challenging, but they've fallen off the pace completely. As for Chelsea, well, they're a complete shit show under Pochettino. So, I mean, to be honest with you, I can see this being a draw tonight. I don't think either team is going to have any big advantage over the other. They're both pretty average sides, and a draw, anything but a win, will put more pressure on Pochettino because, I think he's a dead man walking at Chelsea. He might survive till the summer, but he'll be gone then because it just doesn't mix. You don't manage Spurs and Chelsea and get away with it. Maybe you might have done back in Den Hoddle's day, but not at the moment, not in the present time.
But I'm not even putting the Tottenham thing to it, Philip. I'm putting it to it that they've spent money on Arega players. He doesn't know how to put a team together. And he's not this great manager everyone says he is. I'm sorry, he's not.
He's a good manager. He's a good man. He's not a loser, though. He's not a loser.
All right, then tell me what he's won then.
He's a good man. And no, I'm not talking. You don't have to win. You don't have to win things to be a loser. You're a loser if you could get relegated every season.
No, Philip, if you don't,
he's the wrong manager. He's the wrong guy at the wrong club. Basically, he should never ever have gone to Chelsea.
So losing the Champions League final, losing every final he's got into in England, and he's not a loser.
Well, the definition. There's two definitions of loser. One is someone who never gets anywhere even close to being successful, and there's guys that get there but just don't quite cross the line. He's one of them. He's not. There's losers. I'll tell you who's a loser. Who is a loser? I'm trying to think of one now. The Sheffield United team. They're losers because they're going down, right?
Yeah.
Pochettino has been very close to being successful, but just hasn't quite made it. But I wouldn't class him as a loser.
Well, I would. Now,
have some regard for what he did at Tottenham. He dragged us up by the bootlegs and got us almost.
No regards for him whatsoever. Once he kissed that badge, I've got no regards for him whatsoever.
Leave that. I don't have any time for that. But I'm talking at his time at Tottenham. Do not dismiss it completely because he brought us to a different level. We didn't quite make it to the next level, but he gave him some credit.
I'm sorry. No, it's my opinion.
You're giving him no credit at all. No credit at all.
Nope.
Right. So you'd rather we had Tim Sherwood managing us and be a total shit show, would you? I wouldn't.
Philip,
that's what was going to happen.
Philip, no, I'm having my opinion. I'm going to speak how I want. Yeah, but I don't have to agree with you. I don't have to agree with you.
You're completely dismissing a guy. The guy is the runner-up in the league and got us the Champions League final.
I am dismissing because
he's a loser.
All right. Philip, let me speak and let me get my words out. I'm saying he's a loser, A, because he never won us anything. Yippee, he got us to a Champions League final. We were lucky to get to that Champions League final. We had a lot of luck to get to that final. Hang on, Philip, let me finish. He come third in a two-horse race. We should have beaten Leicester to win that league. We should have beaten it. He's got us to semi-finals where he hasn't gotten us over the line. He's got the finals where he hasn't gotten us over the line. I look at people that have been successful. I look at George Graham. He won us a trophy. He was successful. I look at Terry Venables. He won us successful. I look at
20 years ago, Donald. Talk in the present, please. Don't be going back 20 or 30 years.
Look, just because my opinion...
excuse me, let me speak. I just do not... I have no time for Pochettino now, right? Because he went to the wrong club. But I have respect for what he did at Tottenham. We were all cheering him from the rafters at Tottenham. Now he's gone to Chelsea. He's a fucking loser. Get rid of him. I do not agree with that. It's not fair.
I've always had that opinion on Pochettino, though. Even when he was our manager.
When he was a manager, we were getting to the Champions League final, we were calling him a loser. When we finished second in the league, we were calling him a loser.
I question him when he picked Harry Kane over Lucas Moura.
That was one match decision he made a mistake in. He made a big mistake. We know that. That does not make him a loser. Just because you picked the wrong
that's
team
just my opinion, Philip, and I respect your opinion. I just ask you to respect mine. I respect what you say. Just respect mine.
Why are we wasting time talking about somebody who's got nothing to do with Tottenham anyway? Now,
well, because well, anyway, I don't know what I was going to say next. Now, Super League. That's the next thing. There is a report in the Irish Times, Philip, that the Super League is rearing its ugly head again. Now, we all thought with the Champions League, that all this had gone to bed. All this had been put in the way. The English clubs wouldn't do it. Do you feel, Philip, in your view, that the Champions League will never go away, that it will happen eventually? But for some reason, why hasn't it gone away?
Hold on. Sorry, Doom. I'm going to get rid of this.
Sorry. Yeah. No, me and Philip don't agree. We're all right. Don't worry. Me and Philip are fine. Hope the Magpies win tonight. If Newcastle win, that's a very good point to put a 7-point gap to Chelsea in 11th place. To be fair, Poch, he had to face Liverpool in both finals. Well, technically, he should have beaten Liverpool in that final, to be fair. Poch could still win the FA Cup this season, but I don't want it. But until Chelsea are knocked out, it's possible, yeah. Carl says, Poch picked dreadful clubs to manage, but money-hungry, obsessive teams. Good start to the Monday. He's laughing. Can I just point out me and Philip are all right? Me and Philip may disagree on some things, but we are all right, I think. Or is my house really being...
I just think, I'm a fair-minded person, and I don't think we should be dissing a guy now, 5 years after the event. We're happy enough.
Right, let me ask you this question then, Philip. Is Ange playing... We know what Poch did, right? Mm-hmm. And we know what Ange is doing. I feel he's doing a better job than Poch did.
Yeah, but hold on. If Ange leaves us in 2 years without winning a trophy, you're going to call him a loser as well.
So anyone that doesn't win a trophy...
Very pertinent. What is the definition of a loser? You're saying anyone that doesn't win a trophy is a loser. That's what you're saying. So if Ange doesn't win a trophy, then is he a loser as well?
I'm not the only one saying that. A lot of other people have said it as well, Philip. I'm not the only one saying that.
I don't care what other people. I'm just talking about the two of us at the minute. The definition of a loser. It's an insult to call someone a loser if they're not a loser.
Okay, then maybe loser is a too strong a word. Then what else would you call it then?
I would say there are some managers have the luck of the Irish when it comes to winning trophies. They have that little knack of getting over the line. He probably missed that. By his team selection, he made a mistake. If we'd have picked Lucas Moura against Liverpool, we probably would have won that match. He didn't.
Do you feel that
was the end of him as far as Tottenham are concerned?
Yeah. Do you feel his in-game management wasn't up to scratch? Where, say, a manager that can get over the line is different.
Most of the time, his in-game management was very good. Most of the time, but the fact you'll never hear of the games that he made successful substitutions or tweaked things. You'll only ever hear of the ones that went wrong, and that's human nature. That's the way it goes.
See, I look at the Chelsea semi-final where he played Son at left wing back. I mean, to this day, I still.
That's okay. He made it. He thought at the time that was the best way to play it. It did turn out it wasn't. I mean, Ange has made a couple of substitution mistakes in some of the games this season as well. But we're not calling him out just yet. But we will probably if he leaves and hasn't won a trophy, Anyway, let's get back to the Champions League, the Super League thing.
It's just frustration for me, Philip, that we had so many opportunities to be successful in that period and we never took any of them. And I think it's frustration. And I see what he's doing at Chelsea. And it's been proved, my point's been proved that he cannot organise a team. And you're seeing them. If Newcastle win tonight, somebody said in the chat, there was 7 points clear. I don't
think anybody. I don't think Pep Guardiola, a mixture of Pep Guardiola, Alex Ferguson, and Bill Shankly and Bill Nicholson could sort out Chelsea. They're such a mess.
I actually saw a stat today from Ange. It got me thinking. Ange has something they scored in 27 Premier League games or something like that. It's the same record Arthur Rowe had when Tottenham won the league in 50-51.
Right.
Okay. I've got actually the stat on my phone. I'll tell you exactly what it is if I can find it again. But it's something to do. We have Oh, here we go. I'll find it again anyway. But we have matched the record from the 50-51 side under Ange this season.
Yeah,
so, which is
well. I mean, are you allowing for the 2 points for a game back in those days?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, he's matched some record. That of the 50-51 side, and there's always a link. Sorry,
no, go on then. Go on.
There's a link to him and Arthur Rowe anyway, because of Puskas. So
yeah, well, it's
I don't know.
You know, I think we've got 53 points now. We what 10 games left? 11 games left. So we have a chance of getting 70-75 points. You know, which would be an amazing return compared to what ended up with last year. So you know. Anyway, we'll see. I'm just interested to watch some of the comments coming in there.
Yeah, look, I know I'm going to get criticised for what I said, and it's my opinion. I'm going to get criticised for it. And look, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I respect Philip's opinion. Philip respects mine. Me and Philip respect each other greatly. And just because we don't agree on the subject doesn't mean that we're falling out or anything. Me and Philip.
That'd be boring if we agreed on everything. Jeez,
yeah, I know. Me and Philip like a bit of an argument now and again. Gets the blood going. Anyway, respect to Poch in our time. He was a lot better than you say, D. Nah, that's your opinion. I respect it. Poch is a great improver of young teams. That's why Chelsea took him on. You're not all right, Dermo. I just got off the phone to Philip. That was me calling. I was back in the tank. Oh, dear. We've been lovers for years. We have been lovers for years.
Losers, I think he means.
Losers, yeah. How? And then we've got G. Just how can you call Poch a loser, dude? Did the impossible. Levy is the loser, not Poch, mate. Well, did he win us the trophy? Then what do you want me to call it? What do you want me to say? He was unsuccessful in his endeavours.
Well, that's more accurate than calling him a loser. Yeah, he was unsuccessful. He tried, didn't work out, but he tried.
Yeah. We all know that Poch played Kane out of pressure from Levy and Kane. I think, yeah, that is so true as well. We've got Matthew, big up comrades, and all the other comrades. Peter said, big up Matthew, Chairman Mao. Is that Chairman Mao, Philip?
Chairman Mao, yeah.
Yeah. Who's he? Oh, yeah, I know.
Chinese premier for years, or dictator in China for years, I should say.
Not the fella that's in charge now.
No, Mao's dead years ago.
Technically, Peter, you could call Ramos more successful.
Carl
says, is Conte and Mourinho losers?
They are.
Well, they were at Tottenham.
Yeah, but anyway.
For me, Philip, in my head, is if you win, you're a winner. If you lose, you're a loser. It is for me. It's black and white. I see.
That's too generalized. That's too generalized. You know,
Philip, in my head, and this, I know a lot of people don't get this, but in my own head and my eyes, and especially with my autism and everything, I always see things two ways. They're either white or black or white. I can't. Where Philip will see things more. He could look outside the box, if you know what I mean. In how my brain works and how my brain is wired, it's only two ways for me. It's either one or two. And I know not a lot of people get that, and I know a lot of people don't understand that, but I will see things black or white. It's just how I am. It's just what I am. I'm not going to apologize to anyone for that, and I never will. Peter Rem says, big up, Surfer. We've got Carl. No, Conte Mourinho just came with the wrong club with different ethos to the Spurs. I agree with that. Matthew says, Phil needs to awake his Soviet blood. Sometimes that's why Dermo triggers him.
There's no Soviet blood. That's for sure.
If we had picked more... Sorry, Philip, go on.
Oh, go on.
No, go on.
No, it's okay. I was going to say, I don't. I'd be completely anti-Soviet, to be honest with you.
Anyway, if we had picked Mora and lost, fans would have still criticised Poch for leaving out our best goal scorer on the way. But he was injured. That's the bit that gets me.
He wasn't fit.
He wasn't fit. Great Michael Jackson song, Black and White. Yeah, that is true. Now, Philip, the Super League, your favourite subject. English. Now, this is from the Irish Times. This is an article in the Irish Times that English clubs have held talks with the Super League since the disabled ruling. Now, Philip, you know more about rules and the European Court of Justice than I do. So this is the first bit. So do you want to explain people what this means? Because I don't understand it where you do.
I don't understand it properly myself either, but the European Court of Justice said UEFA's criteria governing how rival competition organisers access the market must be transparent, objective, non-discriminatory and proportionate. Now, to me, that's legal jargon, gobbledygook. I don't know what they're trying to say, but I think they're trying to say is if you're running a competition, you have to be open about it. You have to tell everybody what's happening. You're not to pick one team above another because you like them more than the one you're not picking. And whatever proportion it means, I do not know. It looks like there's a meeting coming up later in the week where maybe they're getting a clarification on why can the Super League go ahead and the clubs that want to join it will not be demonized or punished by their existing leagues. And then maybe it has something to do with it. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But it looked to me as if the European Super League are trying to get the go-ahead to poach clubs from the Premier League and whatever, but those clubs will still have the right to play in the Premier League. That'd be my reading on it, but that could be wrong because I'm not a lawyer, so I don't really know. I can't hear you, Dermot.
Well, listen, what that button does. Right. Do all the Spanish clubs, they've all signed up for it, bar 3, haven't they?
Madrid. Everyone but Atletico Madrid has signed up, yeah.
And how about the Italian?
Let them at it. Let them at it.
Yeah, let them at it.
It'll be a Spanish Super League, and that's about it.
Yeah. I got a bit of news last night as well, Philip, which I meant to break first, but we have a bit of breaking Spurs news. That Tottenham talent, Callum Lalusi, is set to sign a pro deal at Spurs on Monday, valid until June 2026. So another youngster signing a professional contract with the Tottenham side. So that's exciting. Another young lad joining the ranks, Philip. And
is he there already? Is he there already? And it's just signing a professional contract, or is the board?
Yeah, he's signing it. Yeah, they must have done. But he's signing his pro deal today at Spurs.
All right, okay. Nice. Good luck.
And the girls as well. Semi-finals of the FA Cup for women. Absolutely massive achievement. Yeah. Beat Man City. You saw the end of it, Philip. And a bit of a mad game, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, Man City scored after 5 minutes. And everybody thought, hang on, here we go. Because the last time they played, they absolutely hammered us. And but then Spurs stuck at it. And then about 5 minutes into injury time at the end of the second half, there's a long ball down, a real hopeful ball down the middle. And the Man City centre back and the goalkeeper went for it. And each of them left it to each other. And bounced over their heads. And next thing, Beth England just literally walked the ball into an open net. And then they went to penalties after that. And the Spurs goalkeeper made 2 brilliant saves, absolutely brilliant saves. City's goalie made 1 good save, but Spurs won the penalty shootout 4-3. Wild scenes of jubilation. I tell you, it was unbelievable. They were in tears after winning it. It was great result. Great result.
Do you mean we can dust off the old Chaz and Dave? Spurs are on the way to Wembley.
Well, okay, they're in the semi-final. God knows who they'll get now. Probably get Arsenal, knowing our luck. But yeah, although look, we gave Arsenal a great run for the money last weekend as well. 1-0.
I did that game with Bobby, and second half we battered them. Big up to Daniel Field as well. Big up, he's in the house. He says, I wouldn't really that. Matthew said, can we finish third this season? We are going to go through that in a minute. Wouldn't really that. Matthew Carl says, is it just Spanish teams crying? Still have no proper money as that. This is what. Are the European teams looking at the Premier League and going, we want a bit of that?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I mean, the Premier League is raking it in compared to the other leagues in Europe. I mean, the Spanish league, I mean, Barcelona have had to sell their TV rights for this God knows how many years at a huge discount just to get money to survive. And I'm sure there's a lot of other Spanish clubs in the same boat. That's why they see the Super League as a gravy train they can make some money on. And that's why I think... I mean, it isn't a Super League if all but one of your clubs signs up for it. You know, it's like it's not a Super League when the team that finished 18th in the league wants to play in the Super League. You know, no sense.
I think European football's going to the dogs. And Daniel says, big up Dermo and Philip and all. Now, Mr. Brady, it's been a mad weekend in the Premier League. We're going to start at the 12:30 because Manchester United did beat Everton 2-0. It was a game, Philip, where I think Man United it was a home win for them. They were expected to win. But are you surprised that they do different penalty takers? By the way, that surprised me.
I think did Rashford not get some record by scoring that goal? I don't know.
Yeah.
But like I talked to a friend of mine who's a Man United fan who watched it, and he says they were basically crap. They scored 2 penalties, and that was it. They wouldn't have scored otherwise. You know, United are not in a good place at the minute. They might be winning the odd match here and there, but they're not playing good football. They're getting through games. With the, I think both, or at least one of those penalties was a bit dodgy.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be a hint of offside about it. So I don't know. Put it like this: I don't think they're much of a challenge to us. We should streak away from them now.
Yeah. Now there is reports that Man United co-owner, so Dream, has decided to sack Erik ten Hag and look to replace him with Brighton boss Roberto De Zerbi. According to reports, Philip, look, we know Ten Hag's going to lose his job at the end of the season anyway. I was listening to Simon Jordan this morning and Jim White and Graham Souness, and they were talking. Jim White asked Graham Souness about the Brighton manager for the Liverpool job. So where do you think he might end up? And what for you is the criteria of becoming a manager of Man United in Liverpool?
Becoming manager of Man United is a much easier proposition than becoming a manager of Liverpool, simply because Jurgen Klopp is going to be an almost impossible act to follow. Whereas the bar is so low with Ten Hag, anybody going in there has got a good chance of being successful. If you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah, but if you say you were the Liverpool chairman, would you say to the managers coming in, I don't really want you to change much? You don't want to go into that Liverpool job and say, you don't have to change anything.
Each manager has his own style of football. I mean, look at Conte and Ange. Look how different they are in their outlook on the way they play the match.
Yeah.
So Liverpool will want a manager coming in who fits the description. Now, with all fairness to De Zerbi at the minute, Brighton are another team that's disappointing a lot this season. They're blowing so hot and cold. They're good one game and they're crap the next. So I think De Zerbi has a better chance of going to United. I doubt that he'll go to Liverpool. You know, I don't think he will.
I think he might go to Liverpool. You know.
Dermot, he's too. Actually, I'm looking at. I'm agreeing very much with the comment Carl's are making here. I don't know if you remember last season when Brighton played Spurs.
Yeah,
De Zerbi had a big bust up on the touchline. Now you could say it's two hot-headed Italians going at it. I think De Zerbi is too hot-headed for Liverpool. I really don't.
I think it'd be Xabi Alonso. I think that's where.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go to Bayern Munich because he'd be pilloried in Germany for doing that.
Yeah, but if you're going into that,
Xabi Alonso is a better man for Liverpool. Yeah.
If you're going into that Liverpool job, Philip, you really don't want to change much, do you? You want just to keep the same.
You don't need to. Okay, you might have said there's a few players might be moving on, like Salah might be moving on, but there's the makings of a good team there at Liverpool.
Now, Philip, the rest of the weekend, Saturday games. Well, look, Brighton drew 2-2 with Sheffield United. Well, that's more of a bad drop points for Bournemouth than it is a game point for Sheffield United. Little Luton. Now, me and Philip have taken Little Luton into our hearts. We want them to stay up. And
not in 2 weeks' time, though. Not in 2 weeks' time.
No. But do you think that's a good result for Luton? They scored in the 96th minute, by the way. But do you think that's drop points for Palace or a good result for Luton?
Yeah, I thought Palace would win that game, actually. But I think I told the story about the guy that scored for Luton. He scored 2 goals in the Premier League 10 years apart for Luton, both against Crystal Palace. Oh, no, not both for Luton. One was for another team. So that was a 94th minute equaliser again. So Luton never say die. That's one thing I'll say about them. They have great team spirit. Whether it's enough to keep them up, I hope it is.
Yeah, Gary O'Neill now working wonders at Wolves, though. Absolutely great season. He's an up-and-coming manager. Good result for Wolves. Up to, I think, 10th in the league. I think the 10th anyway. Good result for Wolves, Philip. Did you see that coming? I think it's a good result. I think Gary O'Neill's doing a brilliant job at Wolves at the moment, by the way.
Bournemouth, how they got rid of him, I don't know. That Bournemouth could pay the price for getting rid of him.
Yeah,
to be honest. A good result for them. I'd expect Wolves to win at home. A decent side at home.
Yeah. Now the game on Saturday evening, Arsenal against Brentford.
That should be 1 each.
Yeah. The point I'm asking, Philip, is that games where you win leagues? what happened on Saturday.
There's also games where you got a massive assistance from an incompetent referee who should have sent the winning goal scorer off for a blatant dive. He got away with it. We get punished when a player dives. Arsenal get away with it. I mean, what's his name? Havertz should not have been on the pitch when he scored that winning goal. Thomas was quite right to lose his nuts after the game about it, because Brentford played hard in that game and would have deserved the draw.
Yeah. So what needs to change then, Philip? We keep going on the right. We keep arguing VAR referees are not refereeing games properly. We keep
consistency.
Yeah, but we're not going to get the consistency because
it's not going to. That's all it's needed. We need every referee, when he sees a player diving, he books him. He doesn't not book him because he's playing for Arsenal. He didn't really mean it. It didn't look like it was he might have been touched, or he might have been pushed. There is no consistency with referees, and until they come to some system of that VAR or somebody in the talking in his ear, watching the game, can say to the referee, say Michael Oliver, Michael, you missed that. That was a bookable offence, and go back and book him. That's all I can see. If somebody else helping to make the decisions.
Yeah,
so but then again, that won't go down well either, because it's taking the responsibility away from the referees.
So that means the game's been run by a man we can't see.
Basically,
the man in the middle of the pitch is not the man in charge. It's the men are in charge, are the ones in the VAR. So
you know, Dermot, we'll talk about another big mistake that was made in the match this weekend as well, and so could have had a big effect on the result of the match, but didn't.
Could have a massive impact on the championship race as well. By the way, exactly. Blue cards, Philip. I know it's being thrown out, but look, I was listening to talk what Simon Jordan, and I agree with what he says. Sim bins can work. If you give them a yellow card, then you dive, yellow card, sim bin for 10 minutes. There's no point booking them, because what's that going to give? If a person dives, you got to make the team that he's dived for. You got to give them. What am I trying to say? You know what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, blue cards aren't the answer. You've got problems there.
Well, don't do it as a blue card, Philip. Do it as a yellow card. If you dive your sim bin, you're in your sim bin for 10 minutes.
And you send the player off in the sim bin, send him in the sim bin for 10 minutes, right? When he comes back on, his muscles are tightened up, his hamstrings are tightened up, right? Well, that first thing he does, he runs, he does his hamstring in.
What, it works? He does do that in rugby.
No, because they don't do as much running in rugby. If you watch rugby, is more or less a static game most of the time. You know, you're not running. You're moving sideways. You're not going full tilt like you're on a football match. So
but surely
that's the difference.
Surely, with 5 minutes to go before you come on, you can warm up. You can warm yourself up again. Warm up.
Maybe if they allow that, you might be restricted to the technical area once you've got. I don't know, but I don't think it's an answer. I think we're bad enough. We don't need any more delays or any more stoppages.
Yeah. So what is the answer, Philip? You got to stamp this out. So what's the answer? You've saying consistent referee.
Having referees. Well, okay, that's maybe not the system referee. Maybe not refereeing the game from the booth, but give the referee a bit of assistance. The referees haven't got eyes in the back of their heads. If the boy in the VAR booth spots something that's going on the pitch that's worthy of a card, he should tell the referee, and then referee acts on it. You know, that would do away with some of the play acting that goes on.
Yeah,
and,
I know.
That's
so true, Philip. Yeah, I do agree with you on that. And Carl says Glasner has a lot of work to do with Palace next season, especially with as he comes to Spurs in the summer. I think that deal will happen.
You see, they had the day of the Palace game. Spurs gave Ezzy's family a box in the ground.
Yeah.
All the hospitality they could want.
You know where he's coming in the summer. That
used to be called tapping up players in the old days.
Yeah. Leslie says if Alonso went to Liverpool, he could take a few Leverkusen and best players into going with him. They would have some.
Yeah, that's true.
I tell you, Liverpool. We'll get on to that match, but they're not. Jurgen Klopp is leaving the foundations of a marvelous team there from Philip Borelli is. We've got 8563 Robbie, big up. Can we please keep Joe Roden? What do you reckon, Philip? Roden?
Yeah, I mean, what was I going to say? Hang on, what's wrong? Oh, sorry, my battery's about to go down. Hold on, I forgot. I thought I'd.
Okay, that's right.
No, that's just going to put it in here. No, sorry, what's this question about Joe Roden?
Can we please kick Joe Roden? Look, Joe Roden's do brilliant at Leeds, but I don't think
he's Roden
a Premier League player.
Joe Roden, Leeds fans love Joe Roden. He'll be going to Leeds in the summer. Yeah.
He will be, and keep him there. But big up, he says, and also he's talking about the sin bins and that. But the laws of football clear stipulate, in the opinion of the referee. Well, the opinion
that's kind of been out the window a little bit now with VAR, because it's not only the opinion of the referee; it's the opinion of the guy in the VAR booth, who will bring the referee's attention to, like, when a goal's scored, right, and the referee gives the goal. Who is it that brings it to attention that that might be offside? The guy in the VAR booth. Yeah.
So is VAR technically running the game, a referee in the game?
More or less. I mean, even yesterday, there was an element of there could have been an element of doubt about the first two Spurs goals. They weren't offside, but they could have been. And that the referee gave them in both occasions. But VAR might have had something else to say. If Brennan Johnson had been a foot further forward, he would have been offside.
Yeah. He also goes on to say, no, the referee is in charge. VAR is there to assist the referee. VAR.
Technically, that's right, but
it is reality, right. But
is that the case?
Well, VAR is running the game. Carl, that's a tad for
presumptuous.
We've got Carl Simpson, send Havertz off, second yellow. I thought I was watching the Bolo. Yeah, I like it. It's happening, David. The ref can still overrule. I've never seen a ref yet overrule VAR, Philip, this season yet. I've seen it once. I think one guy, but I've never seen it.
I think it might have happened in one game where the referee, VAR sent him to a penalty was given, and they sent him over to the screen, and he changed his mind. Yeah, it's happened once, but very rarely. Very, very rarely.
Very. Big up, 8563 Robbie. Now, Philip, look at that up there. We'll go quickly, before we get to the Tottenham game, go quickly. Brighton 1, Forest 0. Good win for Brighton, Philip.
Again, tight game. Forest gave him a good goal, as usual. West Ham, felt sorry for Burnley.
I did too, but is that a bad result? Is that a good result for Burnley or a bad result for West Ham?
It's a bad result for Burnley because they needed the 3 points. But I think West Ham they scored early in the second half. Then got Danny Ings scored his first goal in about 14 years, I think.
Yeah.
So they got out of jail, but I mean, not a good result against the bottom side, really. They're coming off a European over, I think.
Yeah. And Robbie goes, sorry, I meant to say I'm a Leeds fan, i.e. Joe Roden comment.
He's doing well for Leeds. I must say, I enjoy watching Leeds this season, playing some good football.
I do you know what Leeds. I was watching Leeds the last time they were playing for them, and I got reminders of how they played in the 91-92 season when they won the league under Harry Wilkinson. That Gordon Strachan sort of side. Do you know what I mean? It was that sort of brand of football. I like Leeds. I think Leeds deserve to be in the Premier League anyway. Leeds are a Premier League side. They're not a Championship side, and it's. They went through a few harsh times, didn't they, up there? But Philip, they were big in the 70s as well, weren't they, Leeds, back in the day?
Oh, probably, yeah. They were the team in the 70s. They really were.
Now, Villa Park. Yeah, we got the result. Villa 0, Tottenham 4. Just a few things, Philip, for going to it. James Maddison opens the score in 5 minutes into the second period. Brendan Johnson, told you he'd come back, quickly adds a second goal for us after a mistake at the back for Villa. The host, John McGinn, is shown a straight red after his challenge on Destiny. We added 2 more goals in stoppage time through Son and Werner to complete a 4-0 win. Goals then cost Madison on 15 minutes, Johnson 3 minutes later, and then 2 goals in 2 minutes for Son and Werner. Yellow card for Sarr and Rudu as well on 19th and 61. Straight red for Aston Villa McGinn. Philip, the referee, you were critical of him yesterday. 24 hours later, are you still critical of the referee?
Because, I'm still critical of him. He booked Papa Sarr for a perfectly good tackle.
Yeah.
Ferguson had a marginal touch. He was about 3 or 4 yards away from a free kick. He took his leg out, got booked for that. Villa players were fouling with impunity, getting away with it. He was giving free kicks to Villa when there was no free kicks. I thought he would never pick out his red card for John McGinn. That was a red card all day long. Villa are now talking of appealing that red card. Now, that's a frivolous appeal, in my opinion. And if that is the FA have any doubt, they'll make it a 4-match ban, then not leave it as a 3. That was a pure assault on Destiny Udogie. And what is it with Villa players attacking our guys? Matty Cash, who rightly got stick the whole way through the game yesterday, has done it a couple of times. Now John McGinn does it. And I just think that Chris Kavanagh, I think he had to be told. I could see him touching his ear. I think he was only going to give a yellow for that tackle until VAR told him it's a red card. John McGinn is supposed to have stood on the pitch afterwards waiting for a VAR review. And Chris Kavanagh says, get off, lad. There's not a hope of that being changed. So that was shocking. But can I just say, too, that the what's his name? Unai Emery came a match of the day last night. I thought this was hilarious. Now, it's very hard to make out what he says. He's doing these funny actions. You can't make it out. But he says Villa controlled the game in the first half. And I
heard him saying that.
What match were you watching? You control 5 minutes of it if you're lucky. And that was it.
I looked at him, right, and I was thinking, jeez, are you watching the same game me and Philip were watching earlier? For God's sake. We controlled that. I think he had a fun. He probably had to say, hang on, Philip, sorry. Oh, excuse me. He probably had to say it to look good in front of the Villa fans, but for Jesus. Philip, do you want to go through your player ratings?
Well, one other thing, can I just say one other thing? And it's been, if Trent Alexander-Arnold had put in the cross to Destiny Udogie, or Papa Sarr put in for Maddison's goal, Sky Sports will be doing a 5-hour special on it. It was one of the best crosses you will see all season. Unbelievable how he done that. He was off balance, falling over, and he still managed to bend it around the defence. Well done, Sarr. You were brilliant.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Brady, before I give my match thoughts, I'm doing to go through your player ratings.
I'll give them all a 10.
Fair enough. That's easy into it.
There's nobody in that side earned less than an 8 yesterday.
Yeah.
It was the most complete Tottenham performance I've seen all season, for a lot of seasons.
Now, the only worry we have, Philip, is Van de Ven going off. Now, apparently, he's having a scan on his hamstring today, so we won't know the outcome of that now for the next few days. He could be out.
As serious as the other ones, though.
No, but it could keep him out to after the international break, Philip, the first international break of the international season.
Well, as long as we have him back for the Arsenal, Liverpool, and City games, they're the ones we need him back for.
So, but we've got Fulham away on Saturday, a game that is live here on THFC Till I Die, and also live on Premier Sports. About time, because the big six are not playing, so Premier thoughts, who should we pick? Or we just pick Tottenham. Radu, he did very well when he came on yesterday, Philip.
Seamless. You think he'd been there all his life. He came on and he slotted in. I'll tell you one thing. He's not okay. Nobody's as quick as Mickey Van de Ven, but this guy has got some pace to him. He's quick.
Yes.
He's more than quick enough to cope with most forwards. I thought he had a really, really good game.
My play ratings, I go for 8.5 for Mickey Van de Ven. I got 8.5 across the back for all of them. Papa Sarr 9. Basuma 8.5. I go Madison 8.5. I'll go for Kulu 8.5. Sonny goes 8.5. And I'm going to give a 9.5 to my man Johnson. Why? Because I have been backing this player, Philip, from the start of the season. I have never wavered on my support for Johnson. When a lot of you were saying he's not very good, I was being called out in the chat, Johnson's not going to make it. I got called out being deluded last week when I said that he was on the same trajectory as a Gareth Bale or a Chrissy Waddle. And I got called delusional. And he put a performance in there yesterday, Philip. That was a brilliant performance. Do you think he's turning the corner now at Tottenham now?
I mean, he's only with us 3 or 4 months. I mean, I think he's a guy that will grow into the role he's going to be given. I thought he would actually, be on the bench yesterday, but Anne saw something So it actually worked out very well. He was the best player in the first half. He was causing Matty Cash all sorts of problems down that right-hand side, left-hand side. And good play, good play.
Yeah. Now there's the substitutes. Van der Ven, 49 minutes. Bentancur came on for Sion 69th, Madison on the 87th, Johnson on the 87th. They're the subs that weren't used. Austin, Emerson, Davis, Scarlett, and Lascelles. So, Philip, substitutions did their job as well. So everyone's a happy bunny at Tottenham today.
I love the bit when Højbjerg got the ball in his own half, and he dummied half the Villa team out of the ground before going on. He just waltzed through them as if they weren't there. Yeah, subs did very well. Subs did well.
Now, this is Ange's verdict. I'm delighted. Yes, the boys were outstanding today in all facts. Villa are a good side, especially here. Really tough to beat. The crowd have a good atmosphere for them. I thought we handled all that really well, especially in the first half. We were just going to have the energy. But I just felt, even towards the end of the first half, our continual pressing tempo and intensity were beginning to wear them down. And that was the message at half-time. Perseverance, and got off to a flying start in the second half, which was great. And then quality of our football shone through. Look, Ange equaled a record of the 50-51 side yesterday, Philip. A lot of people want Ange out. I was never one of them. No, neither are you. A lot of people are critical of Ange.
Ange out to go and start following somebody else. I mean, you cannot want rid of a manager who's doing what he's doing at Tottenham in such a short space of time. Your plastic fans, it's only the plastics that want that. People that have not been around Spurs for a while, they can't see the improvement that's been made in the whole structure of the club, as well as on the pitch.
I said it a long time ago, but in that top first 10 games, I liken Tottenham to the early 80s Tottenham. And I'm sticking by that, Philip. There's something of that early 80s feel at Tottenham at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Well, there's something of a...
What I've never seen before, I'm going back to the 80s, 90s, any of the teams at the minute.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen such a united team spirit as that team has at the moment.
No. Did you see James Madison's interview yesterday after match of day?
Yeah. Some of those guys would die for Ange at the minute. Yeah. And that's why it's so frustrating that some fans who think they know it all, but know in fact nothing, want rid of him.
I know.
Why?
Yeah. Why? They all want Mourinho, or they all want this and they all want that. Why?
The only reason I can think of is some of them must be closet Rangers fans.
Well,
work that one out.
If you are, then you're a very sad life, really. We'll go through some of the comments. Robbie says we could have beaten Chelsea. You should have beaten Chelsea, Robbie. You really did. Andrew reminds me a bit of Balesa. Can't give a big no. I tell you, I love Balesa at Leeds. He sat in his haunches for that. His calves must have fucking killed him after the game.
Yeah. Oh, well, not really. He's actually anyway. Leeds were the fittest team in the league under him.
Yeah. Manuel Delaney says Spurs could face competition from Eze for Man City, and the player would prefer a move to the Etihad.
I don't know. I think he'd be a small fish in a big pond there. I don't think he'll go there.
A bit like that player did go there. Who's the player that went there, Philip? And he's now been sold since. Oh, what was his name? You know the one I'm talking about.
The guy that went to West Ham.
Yeah. Phillips.
Yeah.
There's another one. Small
he can't
fish
even
in the
play at West Ham. He's having a nightmare at West Ham. So,
Mustn't that be good? If you want Ange out, you don't know football. Me and Philip don't want Ange out, but some of these idiotic fans that do. And then Carl says, I want the Spurs so-called favour out, not Ange. They're a waste of space and narrow-minded. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Philip. So we're going on now. Liverpool against Man City, a game we did cover here on Thfc Till I Die. A great game of football, Philip. Good advert for the Premier League. Liverpool battered Man City second half. How Liverpool did not win that game, I'm still not sure.
They should have done. They might regret that because City had the goalkeeper off. They were very much playing for a draw. City were. They really were.
Now,
which is quite surprising,
One decision, Philip, in that game could turn the championship on its head. At the end of the season, anyone could look back to that game thinking that's where Liverpool didn't win the league. And it's this challenge here. Now, technically, he got the ball, Philip, but the follow through we saw the follow through, and I saw when I was doing the commentary for it, I could see McAllister went down like a sack of potatoes. Now, I knew he wasn't play acting, Philip. He was genuinely hurt. Michael Oliver, what is he watching or thinking? It proves to me that man cannot referee. I mean, Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles would have given the penalty yesterday. It's that obvious. It was a bloody penalty. It was a foul inside the box.
There's no doubt about it. It was a penalty. But you've got to ask the question. It's not only Michael Oliver didn't give it. The VAR and the assistant VAR didn't give it either. But, 3 of them did not give it. So there must have been some extenuating circumstance that got them to reach that decision. Was it because he got the ball? That doesn't always help. Sometimes it's the follow through they go on more than the actual contact with the ball. So it's one of those you'd love to see Mike, what you call him, Howard Webb.
Oh, the Mike Up one.
No, Howard Webb come out and actually give the explanation why that was not given as a penalty. Because as you rightly say, that decision could affect the destination of the league title at the end of the season. Because that was in the 98th minute. That had been given, Liverpool win the game, no problem.
Now, if that was given up the Kop end, would the penalty been given?
Probably, because the crowd would have made such a furore about it. City were cute enough by making Liverpool attack the Kop in the first half, which isn't the normal way of doing things. So, possibly. But again, it just proves, Michael Oliver is our so-called best referee. Well, if he's the best, God help the rest of them.
So, look, let's go through it, Philip, right? He's got the ball, as you can see, right? He has clipped the ball. But his foot, Philip, is so far off the ground. It's under the armpit of the player there. What if you're a VAR, right? What's going through? Is it because he got the ball that you're thinking, oh, it's a fair challenge, you got the ball? He only tapped the ball. Jurgen Klopp had every right to go mad yesterday and to be fair to him, he didn't, Philip. He didn't use it as an excuse. Again,
which makes me believe, has he been told something by McAllister that backs up the referee's decision? Because Jurgen Klopp, if he thinks he's been wronged, he will let you know about it. And the fact that he didn't is quite telling. So maybe he was told something.
He has come out since now and give out about the decision. Today now he's giving it out. Saying his player could have been killed because of high up.
Wasn't quite that bad now, but anyway.
Yeah, but it was a penalty, Philip. It was a penalty. He may have genuinely went for the ball. For me, it was a penalty all day long.
Yeah.
But we're going through that.
If that had been us and we hadn't been given the penalty, we'd be up in arms about it.
Yeah, of course. Now, we did talk a bit about Chelsea Newcastle, which ended up in a bit of a row. So we're going to skip over that game very quickly and go to Bournemouth versus Luton Town on Wednesday, 7:30. What do you reckon? A vital game for Luton, isn't it, Philip Bradley, to be fair?
Vital game for Luton. Yeah, and it's a game I can see them winning.
Yeah.
Bournemouth aren't exactly pulling up trees at the minute. They're struggling. Mm-hmm. So, I think that I'd like to see Luton win that game, actually,
Now,
one of my reasons that I like Luton as much is I like Andros Townsend playing for them.
Yeah, and he's having a good season.
He's got a rough deal at Tottenham, so I like Andros Townsend.
And also Ross Barkley's playing well for them as well, Philip, to be fair.
He'll get back into a bigger team next season. He's been so good for Luton.
Yeah.
Took a big chance going. Fair dues to him.
Do you think he could get to the European Championships?
I don't know. That might be a bridge too far for him. You never know, though. He might. But I'd be surprised if he did. He's been good, but maybe not quite that good.
Now, Philip, we haven't seen a championship this tight for decades in the Premier League.
No.
Look at the goal difference. Arsenal do have an advantage. You always say goal difference is worth a point, Philip. You've always said that. So the goal difference 46, 34 each for Man City and Liverpool, 63, 64. I'm still backing Liverpool to win the league. I know you're still going to stick Man City. Is the game at the 30th between Arsenal and Man City pivotal for Arsenal's ambitions to be league champions this year, Philip?
Am I right in saying that? I'll just see when that game is.
It's on the 30th of March, and Arsenal have to
who
go up.
Who are they playing next week then?
They're not playing anyone because they're out of the FA Cup.
The Cup.
So
so
Man City are in the. Yeah, it's the 30th, Philip. I'm telling you because I've got it in front of me. It's the 30th at the Etihad.
No, I'm just looking up to see what other games are you.
Arsenal have got in the Champions League on Tuesday. Man City, Man United are playing Liverpool in the FA Cup next week. Man City are playing in the FA Cup too. So the games on the 30th have been pushed back to then. So it's that game up. It's where Arsenal's season fell apart last season. Where Arsenal, when Man City battered them. Is it a case of Arsenal going up there thinking, would there be sort of a scare tactic in there mentally thinking, shit, we lost here last season. This is where it started to go wrong for us. Do you think there could be that genuine?
I hope it happens again. I mean, I don't, okay, I think Man City will win the league. You think Liverpool will win the league. Neither of us want Arsenal to win it. In fact, no Spurs fans want Arsenal to win it. I think if they go up there and City beat them, I think that will effectively not cripple their title hope, but it'll certainly dent them severely. And remember, they have to come to us as well. And, I know we might be a bit fearful of that game, but I think Tottenham, we have a habit. We did it 2 seasons ago. They came to us and they were ahead of us in the league and we beat them 3-0.
And finished it,
And we can do it again. We can do it again.
Now, if you look there, Philip, right, we're only 10 points behind third, right? I know we're not going to get third, but we have got a better goal difference than Villa. Man United are in 47 points with no goal difference whatsoever. Fourth is ours for the taking. As I said in the title, top 4 is now in our hands.
Well, we need to win. We need to win against Fulham. We need to win against Luton because we have a very, very tough new April.
Yeah.
Sorry, I need to take this one. Sorry.
So and then you go there, and then these are the bottom teams, guys. We've got Brighton on 20, Brentford on 26 points, Everton 25, Forest 24. You can really say that Sheffield United and Burnley are both relegated. They're down. But who's going to go down with them? Do you know what? I hope Luton stay up. I think if Everton get a 10-point deduction, that brings them down to 15. Again, do you know what? It's going to go the last game of the season, in my point of view. And then with the top 6, I think Spurs will get 4th place. I don't think we'll get 3rd. We'll get 4th and the Champions League spot. Villa will get 5th and Man United will stay 6th. So let's go through the chat. We've got a few people can hear. We've got it's in modern football, it's a foul. Exactly, Robbie. Absolutely, exactly. And you're also going to say it wasn't what could have been called a fair collision, and it wasn't. And I still don't know why VAR didn't give the penalty. Why? I just don't know why. It's the most bizarre decision I've seen for a long time. And what they were watching, I have no idea. But if you do like watching and you do like a little bit of energy drinks and you like hoodies and you like stuff like that, please do hit the QR code above us to our official partner of the channel, Wrath Energy. I tell you, I had the bath water and it was lovely. Give me a sugar rush. I was like doing a watch along that Tottenham game and I was buzzing. So it's a great drink. They do hoodies there. They do everything there. So please do hit the link. It helps us. It helps them to help us. So if you can. We've got Carl Simpson. So big up Robbie. He said Carl Simpson. A bit harsh. Dooku was auditioning for the next Karate Kid. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, you need to go, Mr. Brady.
Yeah, work gets in the way, I'm afraid. So see you later on at the watch along, okay?
Okay, see you later on then for that. Bye-bye. Bye. And there is Mr. Brady gone. Just let me get this spot on if I can. There we go, guys. There we go. Right. Where was I? Yeah, he was Carl. We got Carl Simpson. Could be worse. We could still have Jeff. Oh, Jesus Christ! If he was refereeing, I think I would have a heart attack. Robbie says Liverpool should have been 3-0. Yeah, they should have been, and that was my point at the time. Robbie Diaz missed two golden opportunities to put them up. They didn't take their chances. So, is it dropped points at home? I feel it is dropped 2 points at home for Liverpool, but Liverpool not seeing it like that. But personally, I am. And he's saying he genuinely went for the ball. I sort of disagree with you there, but I don't know. I don't know. It's a penalty for me. It all depends on that photo. Other angles look like he hardly touched him. Yeah, that's so true. But his foot was high. The intent was there. It was a follow through. So they should have given. It was a penalty. If that was us, we've got a penalty given against us. Guaranteed that. Big up to Danny Field. He says April fixtures. Please be on your game, Spurs. Exactly. Chris says, I thought both decisions, having we watched it, were debatable. Yeah, they are debatable, Chris. I actually agree with you. He's a massive Liverpool fan, Chris. So he's the best one to talk about this at the moment. Chris says, when I was watching it live, it was a clear penalty on Núñez. Now we're watching it back. Not much contact on Núñez. Actually, there was contact, but not much. The Núñez one, for me, I think it was 50-50. I think the keeper ended up getting injured more than it should have been the penalty, but we have to wait and see. But look, both decisions were debatable. Spurs have only been given one penalty all season, so no penalty for Liverpool after us being robbed by a dodgy pen decision. And yeah, exactly. But we did get revenge for that, Leslie, in the game earlier on in the season when we beat them 2-1. So I think things go round and roundabout. Things going roundabouts, if you know what I mean. Carl Simpson, Arsenal are going to win the league. They are playing shit, but still scraping wins. They're not going to win the win, Carl. They're not going to win the league. Liverpool winning it. Anyway, a point is better result for us than City. It's all about keeping City behind us. Plus, City and Arsenal have to play each other, which will put the league back in our hands. Exactly. All I care about, mind you, is Spurs results. Exactly. Arsenal will be happy with the point. Liverpool goal difference is that, yeah, no, I just brought it up there. Oh, 39. Sorry, it was my point. Sorry, Chris. I was 3 o'clock this morning. I was working to this morning, so I think my eyes were a little bit tired. Not being funny. Look at our points against other big clubs this season. It's really good. It is brilliantly. It is, Carl. Carl says Luton are staying up. Forest go down. I want Forest to go down too. City for the title. Bottom 3 as it stands goes down. Leeds coming up. Being interested next season, Robbie. Hi, Colin Cross. Big up, Colin. Says, hi, boys. Our next 4 games are all in London, and that is useful for us. It is very useful for us. Don't have to travel far. So big up to Colin. Well done. Great to see you, Colin. The Battle of the Bridge Part 2 with Poch in the opposition corner. They would love to stop us getting the top 4. Well, we're going to batter them there. We will batter them. Everton are not getting another deduction, in my opinion. They took the punishment. It's the second one they've been done for. There's 2 charges, so there's another charge coming. Now, is it either going to be for this season or is it going to be put on to next season? I don't know, but there is another charge coming. We've got Greg Sinnett. Big up, Greg. He says, I have an affinity for Everton. Find a lot of similarities between them and us, so I like them to stay up. Luton mainly hoping on Forest getting deductions now, in my opinion. Yeah, that's true, Chris. Also, used to go to a lot of Watford games, and as they were local, so F Luton. Yeah, exactly. Joseph Monaghan. Big up, Joseph. Says, isn't everyone playing the ball a stupid excuse? Yeah, I know. Sorry, I wasn't clear. He went for the ball, but it is still a pen. Yeah, of course it was a pen because of the follow through. But I agree with you on that. And then Paul Pablo, we won against Villa. Celebration. We're 5th after win, still 5th, but we are closing that top 4 down, guys. Well, look, that is the Daily Hotspur News show today. I am back tomorrow by myself. Philip, of course, is on his way to Dublin tomorrow. So yours, that's Tuesdays off. So it'd be me. I think me and Mia tomorrow. I'm going to do the show. But listen, thank you for all coming in. We are back tonight, 8 o'clock, 10 to 8, for the watching on Chelsea versus Newcastle Premier League. So please join us for that. Thank you all for watching. Colin comes in right at the end, says one of the charges against City is the length of the grass for Thfc. Yeah, exactly. Paul Pablo, we're only 2 points behind instead of 8. Worth celebrating. It is worth celebrating. getting there. Please pick up your memberships on the way out if you can. Please bring in your super chats as well. It does help us grow, and it helps us grow as a channel. Whatever you do, please look after yourselves. We are back tomorrow at 4, but we are back tonight at 10 to 8. Come on, you Spurs. In Big Andrew we trust.